How many of you all seen that movie where somebody's walking their dog and the dog gets focused on another dog and he starts pulling the handler all the way down the street? Or for my personal favorite, the person is holding a bag of groceries, got the dog in the other hand. Now the dog sees somebody and they break, and now the groceries fly everywhere and the eggs and milk break. I think that's hilarious. Hi, I'm Chad. Today I want to talk to you about the importance of training your house dog and exercising your own dog at home. We have three main points we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about obedience and exercise. We're going to jump into compulsion and inducive training. I'll explain more about that when I get to that. And then we're going to talk about rewards and different reward schedules. So how about we just wag our tails right into the first one, obedience and exercise. Obedience is the foundation of all uh, obedience training, I guess. Something that you want to have. Any kind of dog training you're going to do, obedience is something that you must have in order to complete anything else. Exercise. If you have an overweight dog, most likely down the road they're going to have a lot more health problems. They're going to have a lot more limb problems, everything. It's just you need to exercise your dog. Most of the time we like to have about an hour's worth of exercise for your dog daily. Depending on the breed, you might have to even do more than that. Um, you can tie both of them in together as well, obedience and exercise. Uh, Make sure you have a toy when you're first starting out, though. You want to make sure you can always keep your dog's attention. So speaking of the dogs, stay. You want to be able to keep your dog's attention. Dogs' minds are exactly like toddlers. No matter how old the dog is, their mind is just like a toddler. Now, I don't know about you guys. I can sit here and bore you to death with information about obedience and about exercise, but if you can't see what I'm doing or how to do it, it's not very effective. So, with that being in mind, we'll go ahead and jump into the next one, compulsion and induced training, where I got my own little guinea pig, MWD Andor right here. Sit, sit. Andor sat, whatever, sat. So now I got the oohs and ahs out of the way for MWD Andor. We'll go ahead and talk about induced training. I've already talked with Andor. He let me know he's cool with being the guinea pig. So we're actually going to jump into compulsion training. Compulsion training, anytime, yeah, set. You can get a choke chain at any local pet store. It's basically just a chain link with two circles at the end. Put it together, kind of make a P, and you put that over the dog. It's basically compulsion is just like spanking your child. Sometimes kids need to be spanked. Opinion, not opinionated. Anyway, so the dog doesn't listen, tell him a command, but you make sure the dog knows the command first. So let's go ahead and jump back into teaching the dog how to sit. You take a Kong, red Kong, blue one for if you're starting out, and just first get them to love the Kong, put peanut butter in it, a toy or a treat, and they'll go to town for hours. Eventually, you keep doing that, they'll start loving that toy. So you just take the Kong like this, you put it over the dog's head, sit, sit, it comes up. And then once he does that, okay, give him a reward, let him have it, play with it for a little bit. I'm in a little tight space, so I don't want Andor running all over. Out. Yeah. So just basically do a couple little things like that. Reward schedules, you basically want to switch it up. You want to put him in an endo sit. If he does it good, you give it to him. Now, then you make him do a sit, and you move, do a sit again, 2 or 3 times, and then he gets paid. So he learns that eventually he doesn't need the toy in order for him to sit. And then inducive is more just playing with them and teaching the commands with that way. And with compulsion, though, if he doesn't do it, you take that choke chain and you just kind of pop it just one time, just no, and then he'll do it. He or she will do it. Now, the reward schedules was just like I was saying. That's our next topic. It's just you start one and you do a successive approximation in order to get to your end goal. So if you tell your dog, teach your dog to stay, at first teach him to stay for 10 seconds, then you teach him to stay for 20, and then you teach him to stay for 30, and so on and so forth. Eventually, where you say stay, you should stay for at least up to 3 minutes max. So everybody give MWD Andor a round of applause. We're going to go ahead and get him out of the camera for a little bit. Nobody. Down. Stay. So in conclusion, we've talked about obedience and exercise, how valuable and important it is. Andor and I, we usually try to run at least 2 to 3 times a week, up to 2 miles each time. Andor also with the toys, you can take two of them and throw them back and forth with each other. Excuse me, my laptop is starting to black out. down. You take 2 of these cones with your exercise down, and you throw him one, he brings the toy back to you, and you throw the other, and that's another way you could do your exercise down. He really wants his toy. I'm sorry, y'all. And then we also talked about compulsion and inducer training. There's some dogs out there, they're going to need compulsion training. They're not going to listen. They're going to be hard-headed just like humans are, or they're going to need a little bit of compulsion in order for them to learn the correct way. Inducer training, most dogs, they're able to do this as long as you're doing it the right way. And then the reward and different type of reward schedules is also a very important way to reward them. You want to make sure they're learning it and grasping the concept of it. So I look forward to seeing the critiques at the end, and please feel free to leave your remarks. Thank you.